Right now, there's a massive financial shockwave rippling through the economy. Millions of Americans are suddenly defaulting on their student loans, and here's the really crazy part. Most of them absolutely did not see it coming. Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're unpacking the sheer scale of the student loan crisis that's unfolding literally right now, following the official end of the pandemic relief era. The safety nets are completely gone, and well, the fallout is here.
To really get a sense of this, let's look at the raw numbers from the New York Fed, because honestly, they are staggering. $3.6 million, that is how many borrowers defaulted in just 2 quarters. Specifically, we're looking at the last quarter of 2025 and the first quarter of 2026. Roughly 1 million folks defaulted in Q4, and then a whopping 2.6 million followed right after in Q1 alone. We're talking about a literal tidal wave of defaults just hitting the system all at once. So how did we hit this sudden financial cliff? Well, we have to look back at the immediate past for some context. For over 3 years, more than 40 million federal student loan borrowers had their payments completely paused, all thanks to pandemic relief programs. Not a single dime was required. For so many people, that extra cash flow just kind of became the new normal in their household budgets. But that relief has now fully ended, and people are suddenly having to find hundreds of dollars every single month that, quite frankly, simply aren't there anymore.
Section 1, the sudden surge. Okay, let's dive into this and figure out exactly who is getting caught in this unprecedented wave of defaults.
You might assume it's only folks who've historically struggled with managing their debt, right? Well, actually, scratch that. Here's the researchers' most surprising finding: a massive 75%. That is, 3 out of every 4 of these defaulting borrowers were not actually behind on their payments before the pause started. Only 25% were struggling previously. The vast majority of these defaults are coming from people who were completely current, completely on track before the world shut down.
And this brilliantly illustrates an absolutely crucial reality of this whole crisis. As the researchers noted, this isn't just people who were already struggling. It's people who got caught off guard when payments resumed. It's not a simple story of historical financial irresponsibility, It is a story of a massive system shock. People built a totally new post-pandemic financial life, maybe dealing with crazy inflation and housing and groceries, and then suddenly, bam, that old loan payment came knocking, catching them completely off guard.
Section 2, the subprime plunge. Let's talk about the downstream consequences.
Because the damage here isn't just about the debt itself, or, getting annoying letters from a loan servicer. Defaulting on a federal student loan triggers a total cascade of devastating financial consequences. On average, defaulted borrowers are seeing their credit scores drop by a staggering 91 points. They're falling from the low 500s all the way down into the high 400s. Now look, a 91-point drop is incredibly painful no matter where your score starts. But falling down into the 400s, that drags you deep, deep into subprime territory, meaning lenders now view you as a major risk.
Let's ground that abstract credit score drop into some terrifying real-world realities. A credit score in the 400s basically locks you out of the modern economy. It severely impacts your ability to just rent a decent apartment, or get a car loan so you can actually commute to work, or even qualify for a basic low-limit credit card. The ghost of this default is going to restrict these individuals' financial freedom long after that original missed payment.
Section 3, a second wave. Because, unfortunately, there might be more on the horizon.
Yeah, if you thought 3.6 million defaults was the end of the story, I really have to warn you, the data strongly indicates this systemic crisis might not be over yet. Right now, there's another massive number we need to pay very close attention to: 7 million. That's the number of borrowers currently sitting in a temporary forbearance program, meaning their required payments are currently suspended. They're in a holding pattern, totally shielded from the immediate shock of repayment. But that specific forbearance program is ending very, very soon.
Which means we are looking directly at a looming second wave of defaults. As those 7 million protected borrowers are forced to finally re-enter standard repayment, many of them are going to hit the exact same financial brick wall that the first group did. We could literally see millions more defaults flood the system in the coming months.
Section 4, how to protect yourself. Let's pivot to some actionable solutions.
We are definitely not going to end this explainer just staring at grim economic data. Whether you're in that first wave, worried about the upcoming second wave, or just feeling the pressure, you have options to stop the bleeding and take back control. So the crucial point is you have to take these steps. Step 1, don't do nothing. Ignoring federal student loans is the absolute biggest mistake you can make right now. Step 2, look into loan rehabilitation. This is a real program that can pull you out of default and help repair your credit after making a series of affordable payments. Step 3. Consider loan consolidation. That rolls your defaulted loans into a brand new one and gets you back in good standing quickly. Both of these strategies can halt any further credit damage.
But listen, there is a ticking clock on all of this. Collections are currently paused for defaulted borrowers. That means the government isn't actively garnishing wages or seizing tax refunds right this very second. But make absolutely no mistake, that grace period is entirely temporary and it won't last forever. You have a window of opportunity to act right now before the really severe penalty phase kicks in.
Which brings us to the most important question of all for today. Are you dealing with student loans right now? Are you feeling the squeeze of this unprecedented resumption of payments? Think about where you stand in this data, take the necessary steps to protect your financial future, and remember, with literally millions of Americans facing this exact same hurdle, you are definitely not alone in this fight. Keep learning, keep taking action, and we'll see you in the next explainer